This video is about graphing on a coordinate plane with all quadrants. First thing we need to understand are the labels and the pieces of a coordinate plane. What I have drawn here is your basic coordinate plane. Your horizontal axis is your x-axis, and your vertical axis is your y-axis. The intersecting point in the center is your origin. The origin is going to be coordinate points 0, 0. And the origin is always the point at which you start from when you're graphing, whether it be in any of the 4 quadrants. With the quadrants are numbered. This is your first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. You can kind of think of it as a letter C. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you were to connect them, it would make the letter C to help you remember the order in which the coordinates are organized. So if you're going to be graphing on the coordinate plane, each of your points on your x-axis and on your y-axis should be equally spaced. And I'm just going to take these out and we can number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, we want to think of this as a horizontal and a vertical number line. So first we're going to focus on the x-axis. With a number line, if your origin is your 0, all of the numbers to the right of it are positive. So, thinking back to our number line again, any numbers to the left of 0 are going to be negative. So keeping our spacing the same, and we can, now this becomes -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, and -6. So you can see how it runs from +6 to -6, being those opposite integers because they are both equal distances from the origin of 0. If we want to label our y-axis, we will think of this as more of a vertical number line. Anything above the 0 is going to be a positive number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And anything below 0 is going to be a negative number. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. It's kind of comparative to a thermometer, might be another place that you might see a horizontal number line. So now we need to talk about graphing on the number line. When you have an ordered pair to graph, ordered pairs are always placed inside of parentheses, separated by commas. So I'm going to give you an example in each quadrant of graphing them. So one example would be if you had 2 positive numbers, so 2, 2. We always start at the origin, and the first number, that's always going to be your x-coordinate. The second number is your y-coordinate. You can think of it as alphabetical order to keep yourself organized. So if we want to graph this, we start at our origin. We know our x-coordinate is 2, so I move over 2, and our y-coordinate is 2. So I move up 2, and I can plot my point. And if I want to label it, that is 2, 2. And that's in quadrant 1 because both numbers were positive. Another example would be if we had -2, +2. So my x-coordinate is -2, my y-coordinate is +2. So again, I start from my origin. My x-coordinate is -2, so this time I'm going to go to the left, and my y-coordinate is +2, so I'm going to move up 2 spaces. So this would be -2, +2, and that would be in my second quadrant. The third example would be if you had -2, -2. Both numbers on both axes are negative. So starting from my origin, -2 on the x-axis, moving to the left, and -2 on my y-axis, moving down 2 spaces. And I can plot that of -2, -2. It's in my third quadrant. And the last example being 2, -2. X is positive 2, Y is negative 2. So coming from my origin, X is positive 2, I move to the right 2, and my Y is negative 2, so I move down 2. And I can label that. So the reason I use the same number of 2 in each of my examples is to show you that, for example, if you have a positive 2 as your x-coordinate and a negative 2, they are both equidistant from the y-axis. In the same thing, if my y-coordinate is a positive 2 and my y-coordinate is a negative 2, they are both equal distance from the x-axis. So we can think of them as opposite numbers of each other, positive 2 and negative 2, just as if they were on a regular number line.